What you been up to?
The kids. Arionne. Yeah, trying to get her through nursing school.
Okay.
So I think that's
So you investing in your woman?
I better.
It's getting heavy.
Yeah, we good.
More
now.
serious, like.
Like, you know, she keep on playing the cards while she look at that ring type thing. Yeah.
Martell Holt really thought he could change the narrative. He believed that if he gave a few slick interviews and said the right things, people would forget all the pain he caused. But it doesn't work like that. Arionne Curry hasn't forgotten. The internet hasn't either.
So Arionne and I, we've had our ups and downs over the years. You know, I've done things, said things that wasn't pleasant to her, like, you know, I called her a peasant, you know, which I regret now. But, you know, me being in a relationship at the time, that kind of what prompted it. But I don't think like that about Arionne now. She's a good girl. She's very smart, a great parent. I feel that I'm lucky to even have her on my side.
And the truth? It doesn't disappear just because you're ready to move on. Think about it. Martell spent almost a decade sneaking around with Arionne. They had a child together. He took her on trips, introduced her to friends, and played house like it was all normal. Then suddenly, he turns around and says she was never wife material. After all those years? After everything? This is the same man who dragged his real wife, Melody, through public humiliation, cheating on her repeatedly and disrespecting her on national TV. Now he's trying to act like he was just some innocent guy who got caught up.
What you looking for?
So moving Arionne and my son and her daughter into my crib.
I'm sorry, say what?
I'm moving her into my investment crib.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What? Oh.
All right, wait, y'all moving in together?
Nah, we can't live together until we get married or something like that.
Oh, you want to do it right. So you gave her a ring?
We're not engaged yet.
Okay. You said yet?
Yeah, not yet. I mean, we're looking forward to all of that.
Okay.
You know, steps to it.
You been looking at rings?
A little bit. A little bit. So I would definitely say Arionne, she is wifey material. And that's the only reason I've been pondering on that, because she does have those qualities in terms of, you know, the respect is there, the taking care of me is there, the simple things, the cooking, making sure the family is good. I pay attention to all of that to a person that I want to make my wife, because all that is important.
But let's be honest, Martell didn't stumble into this situation. He created it. He built the chaos himself, lie by lie, step by step. And now, because it no longer benefits him, he wants to pretend like it never happened. But people remember. They always do. It's wild how confident he sounds in interviews. Sitting there saying Arionne wasn't fit to be a wife as if he's some expert on marriage. This is the same man who had a smart, beautiful, hardworking wife at home.
Oh, what a man knows, he knows. Like, it just...
Oh, yeah, but you still got to take steps, especially when you 43 years old and when you've been married before and it seem fresh and you got children. Got to make sure that you don't just make any
What seems
rash. This is my divorce. I'm still trying to shake off still, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm reminded in terms of having 4 children by her every day.
You still stuck?
No, I'm not stuck. I'm not even thinking about my...
You think about it every day. That's stuck, bruh.
It's more of...
I keep suggesting you going to therapy and like working with various people so you can get through that.
Oh, there's counseling. I'm
Cause
talking
that's why you still stuck, bruh.
No.
Melody helped build him up. She gave him 4 children. She stood by him when he had nothing. And he still cheated. So if Melody wasn't enough for Martell, then who is? That question says everything about how he sees women not as partners, but as people he can control. And that's Martell's real issue. He doesn't want someone who challenges him or holds him accountable. He wants someone who reflects his ego, who supports him no matter what. That's what Arionne gave him, at least for a while. She believed the sweet talk, bought into the fantasy, and hoped that maybe one day he would choose her. But he never intended to make her the one. He just kept stringing her along, fully knowing the damage he was doing. Martell wanted both worlds, his family and his affair. He had one foot in each, and somehow thought he could keep it going forever. Watching it unfold was exhausting. Not because people were invested in the drama, but because it became clear how quickly Martell discards women when they no longer serve his story. Arionne was once the woman who stood by him during his darkest times. She defended him, believed in him. But now? He barely acknowledges her. Talks about her like she was just a side note. And that reveals everything about how he sees the women in his life. And yes, Arionne has her flaws. But let's not pretend she was just some random woman he hooked up with once. He chased her. He lied to her. He made promises. He chose her over and over again and now acts like she just appeared out of nowhere. That's not fair. That's not honest. What's even more frustrating is how Martell continues to present himself as someone who's grown. You've seen it: the shirtless gym selfies, the deep captions about growth and healing, the podcast interviews filled with buzzwords like accountability and maturity. But when you look closer, it's just the same old routine in a different package. He lifts a woman up, leans on her emotionally, then tears her down the moment she no longer fits the image he wants to project. He did it to Melody. He's doing it to Arionne. And unless something changes, he'll do it again. This isn't growth. It's strategy. And people are catching on. The sympathy is fading. The mask is slipping. Arionne's silence, of all things, has become the loudest part of the story. She's not going live to rant. She's not posting messy receipts. She's not begging for attention. She's just watching quietly, and that has everyone talking. Because when a woman who was once loud and reactive suddenly goes still, it makes people wonder, has she finally let go? Has she seen through the lies? And Martell feels it. He might not admit it, but he knows something's changed. He's used to chaos. He's used to the back and forth. He thrives in messy situations because it keeps him in control. But when Arionne doesn't respond, she takes the power back. She gets to change the story. And that scares him. Now, he's trying hard to keep up this image of a changed man. Calm. Responsible. Just a guy who made mistakes and is trying to do better. But social media has receipts. The internet remembers. People recall the Instagram lives where he ignored Arionne while she cried. They remember how he'd show her off when it suited him, then vanish when things got uncomfortable. That kind of emotional roller coaster doesn't just disappear. But here's the twist: Arionne isn't playing the victim anymore. She's not asking for sympathy. She's just slowly, quietly telling her truth. And people are finally starting to listen. They're seeing the full picture now. The patterns. The games. The manipulation. This isn't just about one relationship. It's a cycle that keeps repeating. Martell loves being seen as the misunderstood man. The guy trying to keep his family together. But this isn't a man who made a mistake and wants to grow. This is someone who keeps making harmful choices and refuses to take real responsibility. His most recent interview was the final straw. Calling Arionne not wife material wasn't just disrespectful, it was calculated. It was his way of distancing himself from the chaos he created, making it seem like she was the problem, not him. But here's the truth: Martell was the problem. He caused the storm. He fueled it. And when it got too messy, he ran. Now that both Melody and Arionne are stepping away from his drama, he's left standing there alone, exposed. People aren't just hoping Arionne will move on, they're watching to see if Martell finally faces the consequences. Not in interviews. Not in Instagram captions. But real accountability. Until that happens, he'll just keep searching for another woman to save him from himself. Martell's biggest issue isn't cheating. It's not even the lying. It's the fact that he can't look in the mirror and say, "I did that. I hurt people." So instead, he hides behind fake wisdom, motivational quotes, and controlled appearances. And for a while, people believed him. They really thought he was changing. But now? That hope is fading. It's clear he hasn't grown, he's just gotten better at pretending. Even his loudest defenders are going quiet. At some point, people have to stop saying he's just unlucky in love. Because after a while, the pattern speaks louder than the excuse. The comment about Arionne not being wife material hit hard not just because it was cruel, but because it was familiar. That's how Martell operates. When a woman stops fitting the version he created in his mind, she becomes disposable. Melody became too strong. Arionne became too emotional. And the next one will be too needy. There's always a reason. As long as it's not his fault. Even now, he won't fully let go. In the same breath, he'll insult Arionne and then say, "She was there for me when no one else was." That's not love. That's control. That's manipulation. And it's not okay. Because real love doesn't make you question your worth. It doesn't tear you down to build someone else up. And at some point, the performance has to stop. Arionne is not perfect. No one is. She made choices that played a part in the breakdown of someone else's marriage, and that truth can't be ignored. But what's also true is that she wasn't alone in this. She was caught up in a situation built on lies, secrets, and false promises. And now that she's gone quiet, now that she's not defending herself or clapping back, people are starting to understand the bigger picture. She stayed silent while Martell spoke loudly. He called her names, dismissed her, and tried to erase her from his past like she never mattered. But he was the one who pursued her. He kept coming back to her. He told her stories she wanted to believe. Then, when everything fell apart, he blamed her for falling for those same stories. That's not just betrayal, that's manipulation. And it changes a person. It doesn't just hurt them. It leaves a scar that takes years to heal. Martell still sees himself as the main character. He walks into every interview with a calm voice and a polished look, acting like he's just misunderstood. But what he doesn't realize is that the spotlight is no longer shining on him. People aren't interested in watching his redemption arc anymore. That chapter is closed. What they care about now is the strength of the women he hurt, their growth, their healing, their peace. Melody walked away and started a new life. She's building something for herself and her children, without the drama. And now, it looks like Arionne might be doing the same. Slowly, quietly, she's reclaiming her power. And when she fully lets go, when she finally decides to rise on her own, Martell will be left behind, holding on to nothing but memories of a life he destroyed. That's the part he's not ready for. Because this was never just about the side chick or whether someone was wife material. It's about responsibility. It's about how many chances a man can waste before people finally say, enough. How many women have to be hurt before we stop making excuses for him? Martell had everything: love, family, loyalty. Melody gave him years of support and stood beside him even when it wasn't easy. Arionne gave him her heart and believed in his lies, thinking he might one day choose her. And what did he do with that trust? He crushed it. All for control. All so he could feel powerful while calling it love. Now, the only person left for Martell to face is himself. And if he ever wants real growth, if he truly wants to change, it won't come from talking. It won't come from another podcast or carefully written Instagram caption. It'll come from doing something he's never done before, sitting in silence. Listening. Not to compliments. Not to fans who still cheer him on. But to the quiet left behind by the women who walked away because they finally realized they deserved better. That silence? That's where the truth lives. Not in the headlines. Not in the rumors. But in the stillness of people choosing peace over pain. If Martell ever hopes to be better, it starts there. Not with proving anything to the world, but by finally admitting to himself that he was the one who caused the damage. Until then, his story will always be stuck in the same place, repeating itself while everyone else moves forward without him. If you liked this breakdown, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a story. Celeb Nova will have it all covered for you. This is Celeb Nova, where the drama ends and the truth begins.